And like I said, I wrote it for people in general, regardless of what it is that you are coming back swinging from, whether it's a medical issue, whether you've been given some sort of diagnosis and they said it's the end for you, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business that failed, whether it is incarceration. The first step to coming out of anything is to recognize that you have greatness within you.
Definitely.
And that greatness within you comes from the essence of who you are. You were made in the image and the likeness of God. That's who you are. You are not just your last mistake or the circumstance that you're in. We were wonderfully and beautifully made, designed,
fearfully,
purposely. Yes, it goes beyond just what career do you want, what job do you want, where do I want to live. When you begin to see your life as having purpose, there's an old proverb that says every day that was ordained for me was written in your book before one came to be, which basically means that everything that was and is to come has already been charted out for me.
Yes.
And it's my responsibility to walk it out. Now, it doesn't mean I'm a robot and that I'm being controlled, but there is a path that has been preordained and predestined for me, and if I choose wisely, I can walk in my greatness. So the second step is to realize that you have calling. You've been called.
Yes.
You've been called. You've been called. And sometimes we hear the word call and we think of church. So I'll use a word that's secular, vocation, which means the same thing, vocal, calling. So when you're at school and they say, what vocation do you want? Really what the professor's saying is, what have you been called to do? And when you recognize that your life is that, then it helps you to navigate some of the wins, because there are going to be some wins. I don't care if you were born on the west side of Baltimore like I was, or you were the son of a Rockefeller, some of whom I've gone to law school with. You're going to face some stuff. And you're going to face some stuff that your intellect and your money and your position ain't going to be able to get you out of. And so how do you navigate that? I talk about some of those concrete things. Again, get the book, Come Back Swinging, because it's a powerful story of how you can re-emerge from crisis. That's what it comes down to. How do we re-emerge?
That is great.
How do we re-emerge?
We're going to stay on the same page because you said something about calling.
Yes.
But the Bible also says many are called, but few are chosen.
Say it again, Clover.
How do you know?
Say it again.
How do you know which one are the chosen ones?
I don't think the chosen is chosen from above. I think it's chosen from below. It's us choosing to walk in the destiny that has already been predetermined. Now, I'll say it really quickly. What is this big argument? What is predestined? I'll tell you what predestined is. Predestined is, I remember I had to drive upstate to work with a director upstate, and my supervisor said, just get in the car and everything will be set out for you. Turned on the car, the GPS already told me where to go. It was a predestined route. The problem was I got there late because I chose to do it my way. And so the calling of the Lord is that GPS that has already mapped out from the beginning of time. This is the direction you need to go in. Unfortunately, as humans, having our own free will, we choose, not him, we choose to do it our way. We choose to say, you know what? I know that the GPS says take a right, but I'm gonna take a left. And I know the GPS says, it's a roadblock up there, but I don't see the roadblock, so I'm gonna keep going. And what happens is we sidestep the calling through our choices.
Well,
life and death I place before you. You choose. Everywhere I go about the book, even people that haven't read the book, Come Back Swinging, I love it. Even when we have t-shirts. I should have brought it. We just got the worldwide trademark. So we own the trademark, by the way. So if you want to use Come Back Swinging, I'm going to need a check for that. We just got the trademark January 9th, registered with the trademark
Congratulations.
office. But yes. But let me say this. That people say, oh, that's so powerful. You want to know who gave me that? The Lord. Not even on, I'm not one of these deep, spooky people, because people get me with that, no, but this really came. I was laying in my bunk in Petersburg, Virginia, in that prison, and I just read a book by Joel Osteen, 2016. I'll never forget it. July 5th, it was called Breakout, the book. The book is powerful. Read it if you get a chance. And it was a month before my birthday, and I was laying in the bunk, July 5th, and I saw the words, come, period, back, period, swinging, period. I saw it so clearly. I didn't know what it meant. And I figured, well, maybe it's a book, because I write books. Mm-hmm. And my mom told me it's deeper than a book. This is a movement. It's so much more. So as we talk about calling, absolutely. It's no question that it comes from beyond, above the intangible, invisible place.
Yes, well, I agree with that. I agree with that. For people who don't believe that God actually shows up and speaks to you, he does. And I believe that because I tell you this, I have never, prior to my incarceration, I have never thought about writing songs. I'm not a songwriter. And my first song, the first song that I wrote, I got it on my bunk bed in Danbury Prison, Danbury Federal Correction Center. I got it laying down. And thus far, I have written over 70 songs, and they all are inspired by God. So I, when I look at our situation, I hear your story, it just reminds me so much of the ones that God has used, the greatness of the ones that he used, because he sees it. You talk about Joseph, and we were put into a place that would, if from a human standpoint, it would want us to be bitter, but we didn't come out bitter. We came out better.
That's right.
We came out better, and that's such an amazing thing, to talk about it. So, and we're not looking at the fact that we went to prison. We're looking at the fact and saying, okay, you know what? Someone did us wrong. We're looking at the fact that, we want to help. We want to help the others that are still incarcerated. We want to be able to be there and to just bring the message out and says, you know what? Guess what? God got you.
That's
we
right.
also have you, because he's using us as the vehicle.
That's right.
To bring his people out.
That's right. And what man meant for bad, because talk about Joseph, what man meant for bad,
yes,
God will turn it around. And remember, Joseph was being prepared in prison to be a prince. He didn't even know it.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just the dream that caught the attention of the Pharaoh. No. It was the fact that he had been in charge and learning leadership in the prison. That caused the Pharaoh to say, I want you to be in charge. He said, I'm going to put you in charge of everything over Egypt. Only I will stand over you.
Yes, definitely.
And here was a man who was a prisoner who became the prime minister of the most powerful nation in the world at the time.
Yes.
Because he was being prepared.
Amen.
And so I want you to know, people, even in your situation, no matter how dark it may look, it's a preparation. If you're not dead, it's because you have hope, and it's because there's more for you. And it might look dark, and it might feel dark, and it may seem dark. One of my favorite scriptures is out of Micah. It said that though I fall, I will rise again. And though I sit in darkness, my God will be as a light to me. And so I want you to know, and that's why I wrote this, come back swinging. It ain't over.
That's right.
It might feel, you're going to cry. You're gonna cry. You're gonna go through the feelings and all that. But I want you to know God has more for you. And if you can believe that,
yes.
If you can believe it.
Yes, you have to believe it.
If you can believe it, then I promise you, you're going to do amazing things.
Okay, great.
Not in spite of, but because of what you've been through.
Thank you. So we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Genesis Radio.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Darrell Bennett. I want you to tune in to the Clover Perez Prison Reform Show, Sundays 4 to 5. Don't miss it. She's going to help you come back swinging.